Welcome back to NXL 2025 action. We're at Event 3 here in Fairfield, Ohio. I am Matt Falby, joined by Dan Sensi of Miami Effect. Here we go, Shock.
5-on-5 paintball, real tight breakout for
TPP Crew on your right,
TPP
Shock on
Crew.
your left.
They do push into the snake, though.
Yep, Shock into the snake now. This is number 2, Nest. Still 5 alive for Shock. I believe we're 5 alive. Both teams bounce out to the Dorito corner here for TPP. Shock makes the transition to that inside snake wedge.
And TPP perfectly content to sit. No, we're going to push forward.
They make a liar of you quickly.
Yeah, they seem like they wanted to sit for a little while, but they snake side can decide to move forward into the mini wing. And now into the snake side wedge with his snake player. So we have pretty similar setups, except that Shock has the Dorito corner and TPP has the Dorito side wedge.
Shock now doubled up into the snake. They do have the snake Dorito. They got the inside snake wedge. Home, Dorito corner. Dorito side traditionally has been a tough push on this field. You really got a gun battle to each bump you want to make. So likely we're going to see that Dorito corner sit there for a while. Stansel backing up the snake. He's now in snake 2. Let's see if we see a bump by number 2 up to this outside wedge of the snake. Now he's down to his knees, so he's going to hunker in for a moment.
Yeah, this is getting real technical now.
Well, first point of a playoff match, it's so important. You do not want to lose it. You try not to take big risks. But that you can't play paintball without taking some risks. Everything you do, even reloading, risk your elbow going out. So you can't play zero risk paintball.
Yeah, but you really want to try and mitigate it where you can.
Yeah.
Because especially on this field, which has been slower in the upper divisions, is one little mistake can cost you 1 point, and there were men's pro out there that was 1-0. So.
That was an ugly bump into D1. It gets away with it. He lost his footing.
But he lived.
Back. Yeah, he lives. Now he's going to go right to D2, a much safer bump.
Oh, I love where Shock is at now. I love where Shock is at, just in terms of field control. We are 5-on-5 still. No, 4-on-5. TPP losing their front snake player. And
so we have an inside wedge for TPP Crew trying to control this snake side. And he's doing good at it so far.
Number 77, I believe that's Thomas Taylor, moving all the way up into the center brick.
A little bit of troll action.
And Shock is in complete control of this point. Even though it's 4-on-5, 4-on-4 now.
Wasted body, Nest trying to get to that snake wedge. I'm not sure where it came from. We're going to have a drop back. Oh, he's a drop back to get a paint from his can player.
He's going to yell, who, and I believe that's Dreads over there, number 5. He might be low on paint himself. We are extending now, almost 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I would imagine first point, you've got to go out with max paint. Maybe later in the game less, but it's already proven to be a problem for Shock.
There's some good paintball sitting there right next to him, though. Thomas Taylor going through. Nobody picks him up. He's asking for a check. Both referees running in. Yeah. He's being called out. So now it is 3-on-4, and TPP moving forward into the brick.
All right, still putting resources into this snake for Shock. They're now back up to the snake Dorito with a little bit of paint in his hopper. Stansel locking
so we are now
brick.
3-on-3, TPP losing a player. Everybody's getting low on paint.
Yeah, I see all empty packs on the snake side here for Shock.
And I think there's one pot over in their Dorito 2.
Yeah, they're playing hopper ball at this point. Nice kill out of the middle. Shock's going to make advancement. Drop back by TPP Crew to snake 1.
That's a real good shot by 21 Stansel to just win a gunfight there and open it up.
All right, D2 has gone a little bit passive over there for Shock. I think he has an opportunity to move forward. He's really not getting much heat in on him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if there's another body for TPP out there other than the snake 1.
I believe it's just the snake 1.
So it's a 3-on-1. He moves back to the can to try and give himself a gunfighter's chance.
Now,
but
he doesn't know it. I was going to say, if he could make this a long gunfight, the Shock was really, really low on paint. But
yeah, everybody's low on point, really on paint, and you pick and choose your gunfights, and yeah. So we have basically a 5-minute point here.
That is a big chunk. Yeah, surprisingly, again we're low paint. Okay, this is my opinion and my opinion only, and the coaches here can yell at me. But when you realize that you're down to hopper ball, it's time to go aggressive mode. You're not going to win sitting back trying to win long-range gunfights with no paint. Just start getting ridiculous aggressive. Even if you do nothing else, then move up to some bunker that draws all the fire on the field.
Yeah, and I'm going to be a contrarian here.
Yeah, please.
I think that depends on the context. Like, if the other team has a bunch of paint still, you got to outweight their paint because you have 0. And now wait for them to be playing hopper ball and just be alive for their other 2 pods because they're going to be about the same as you.
I'm going to contrarian. We're going to go into contrarianception here. No, I agree. I understand what you're saying, but I would at least still make bumps forward to draw guns. I wouldn't get baited into bad gunfighting because you don't have the paint to really sustain. But at least push forward a little bit and draw some guns. Help loot. Don't make stupid bumps. I mean, there's a trade-off.
Don't throw yourself. I think you're especially in this field.
Anyways, I'm super happy to be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. It doesn't bother me.
I'm real curious to see what Wrecking Crew throws out here. I watched their first point of the match, and they went double brick on the break. Oh, loader hit. He's going to get no penalty.
No penalty. And he's going to lose the secondary player. Third player walking off for Crew.
So this one probably won't be a 5-minute point.
Great opening shooting by Wolfpack.
Now
the home takes a walk. 1 player left alive for Crew. He's in that mini temple.
Don't see anybody coming off full. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The last Crew player is going to take a hit, try to make a transition that during the corner.
What breakout shooting from Wolfpack.
Wolfpack snipers in full force over there, just player after player after player.
Yeah. I thought that maybe that first center player for Wrecking Crew might be getting a minor because he's running and shooting and he has no idea he has a hopper hit. But I think he heard the referee start yelling at him.
So but
it didn't matter because the next player got shot.
And he didn't bring up his gun. By the rules, you're allowed to finish your progression to a bunker if it's a reasonably close distance.
Yes, but you're not allowed to run and shoot there.
And he did not. He was just running. He had gun down, at least what I saw in the last couple steps. So you're allowed to finish your run to the closest bunker. So, yeah, I'm okay with that being a non-penalty. Although these refs are so aggressive with throwing penalties that easily could have been one because he's still progressing upfield. Even with that rule about being allowed to go to the nearest bunker, you're
allowed to finish your
run,
your intention.
But if it has a noticeable distraction to the other team, like let's say you're running to their Dorito or something, then you still can get a penalty for that, even with the aggressive. But that didn't fall into that situation. No penalty. Frankly, it didn't matter. I mean,
the break shooting was so good from Wolfpack that they could have thrown a penalty and the result would have been the same.
Wolfpack probably stole their game sheet. They knew where they were going in every single bunker. All right, convincing win by Wolfpack on that one. Back out to TPP Crew versus Shock up by 1 point. 10 minutes on the clock. That's an eternity in this sport. TPP Crew has, generally speaking, been a very aggressive team. It's maybe a little bit, this isn't a deficit where you start having to throw caution in the wind yet, but they'll still attack. All right, I mean, for Shock's sake, I hope they went out with more paint this game. I hope they learned their lesson on that one.
Well, full packs. See 5 bodies alive for Shock.
Crew into the snake and spread across the back. Crew looking to immediately get into that snake Dorito. There he goes.
Shock 2 in the snake already. Oh, and losing a body out of the back center. That's number 5, Dreads.
Crew still with 5 alive. They're up to the snake Dorito, looking for the cross shot. He's locked onto the mini brick in the middle or the home. Yeah, he's on the home.
He's on the home. There's another player in there. And Shot getting outside on the Dorito side.
And abandoning home to the can. I don't know if it works, though. It doesn't work.
Yeah, that Dorito, Snake Dorito shot him.
Carrion was just waiting for him. Now a bump to D1 by Crew and into the snake from the can.
So we have a 5-on-3 situation now. So Shock has to pick up a body here pretty quickly.
Shock chooses to go to D2 instead of going defensive. Drop back. No, not a drop back. Drop back all the way to the pit from the snake for Shock. He's going to die out of the snake. That leaves really, I believe, just the Dorito. No, and the snake 1.
Yeah, it's snake 1 and their Dorito side, which is defensible, but there's 5 TPP players out here right now.
Yeah.
And the snake player, that is Thomas Taylor, getting shot.
So really just the Dorito trying to pull off a miracle here. He's going to get run down.
Yeah, and that'll be TPP's point.
TPP Crew easily could have just kind of like sat on their guns and made them come, but that is just not in the DNA of TPP Crew from what I've seen. They're going to attack even when they don't really need to.
Yeah, that's everything I've watched from them is they love getting upfield. And
yeah, they're just going to keep going. I love it for two reasons. One, obviously webcasting. It makes it more exciting than sitting there watching it. Also, just spiritually, coming from the old school paintball, it was just, you just keep attacking. You know, we didn't have coaches. We didn't know what we're doing. You just keep attacking. Thank you to BKI Paintball for being a sponsor. If you are home and you want to learn a bit more about paintball, you can become a member and watch a lot of instructional videos from home, taught by some of the best players in the sport.
And the best coaches.
Yep. Yeah, best players often make the best coaches. And a lot of those players and coaches are going to be at the BKI Pro Paintball Development Camp. You can go join them and for a week learn from some of the best players in the sport. There is a broken arrow call. I have no idea what that means, but
it's straightforward and over.
Oh, they believe there's going to be a run through?
I think they're going to run straight up and over.
Maybe. A little bit slow. Drops to his belly for Wolfpack. Now they're going to lose their home, and they're going to lose another buddy. Both home players taking a walk for Wolfpack immediately. A little bit lucky there wasn't a flag there.
That's a great coaching adjustment by Wrecking Crew. Shoot the shooters, because they lost basically 4 on the break last point.
Yeah.
So they're saying, hey.
They've countered it.
They had a completely different breakout, and were able to pick up 2 on the break. And also the Dorito corner got shot relatively quickly after. Oh, and a talking minor. I think it's a talking minor.
I think you're right. Yeah, you are right. That's an awful, unacceptable penalty for Wolfpack. They're going to lose this point and lose it badly to New York Wrecking Crew.
Yes. So Wolfpack's just going to blow it here.
Yeah, Gonzalez from Wolfpack are arguing with the ref about that call. The ref is pointing him in the direction of his pit, saying, "Thank you for playing. Exit through the gift shop."
Well, at this point, we're in break time, so if you're not pissing off a ref at this point, you can ask and politely and say, "Hey, can I get an explanation of what you saw?"
Put it in writing, hand it to the head ref, walk off the field.
This particular ref is also the one who's responsible for chronoing on the next team, so he doesn't have time to walk with you for a second and say, "Hey, this is what I saw, man." Which is unfortunate, because as a player, you're like, how do I avoid that minor? You didn't know if it wasn't a talking penalty, if it was a loader hit or something.
Yeah. And if you're watching from home and you're not deep into the sport yet, maybe you're watching because you have a son or cousin or something playing, be aware that a lot of these flags doesn't mean someone's trying to cheat. You can have a hit you don't know about.
Just a violation of a rule.
Yeah, exactly. So don't get emotional about screaming they're cheaters because they get a flag. Sometimes there's some confusion.
Shock, 5 alive against TPP. Also appears to be 5 alive.
Yep, Shock makes their secondary to this inside wedge. He's
Snake player getting a check from a referee for TPP and is clean.
Shock now pushing up to S2. You can look for him to wrap, see if he can make his way to the Snake Dorito. That's the play.
And I think this is Cole Vantoff shooting a bounce shot off of the Dorito side temple into the home.
Shock's going to lose a backline player. Jet ski into the Dorito, though. Vantoff.
Yeah, that's Jetacidro.
Vantoff looking across, trying to slow down their Snake, especially probably their Snake Dorito. That's his primary. Jetski's under enough pressure. He shouldn't think about making that bump right now. Matter of fact, he's
home's looking at him.
Yeah, he's waiting to reacquire gun dominance. He does. He's going to stay on his trigger. He's both knees down, so not sure if he's going to make that bump.
Well, with TPP not wide on the Dorito side, he has a lot of freedom to make a wide bump. Oh, but I think Cole there got a shot on somebody in the Snake.
Yeah, Crew is going to lose their Snake player. Now you've got a lot of resources for Shock bunched up over here on the Snake side. That means the Dorito corner better not die. I still see Jetski with both knees on the ground. That tells me he's not that eager for the move. Now he's knee up. He's getting ready.
Yeah, there he goes. He's through. Which also means a lot of the bounce shots are out of play. Oh, and I think Cole again shoots the Snake player.
Great shooting. Vantoff doing a lot of work. However, they're going to lose Jetski. Overextends a little bit. 3 players left alive for Shock. We're at 6 minutes. I would not count the clock into my decision making yet.
Not yet, but like, the first point for them ran 5 minutes, and we're at 4 now. So
yeah, you're right. These have been long points.
This is very much shaping up to be a 2-1 game, or 2-2 overtime, perhaps.
Very reasonably, could be big move by Vanthof up to that brick in the middle.
I don't know if they. So
they're attempting a bounce shot
Vanthof
into
definitely saw
the
snake player move forward.
I'm not sure where that shot came from that took the middle brick for TPP
It was
Crew.
a bounce shot off of the pin from the snake 3.
Well, at the same time, Shock is going to
And we
lose
have
their
a
middle brick.
2-on-1.
Yeah,
and
they
don't
be
see.
right.
Oh, he just got great shot by Stancil. Just one ball straight across field.
What did we talk about with Crew? They're going to keep attacking. It was a 1-on-2, and he's like, nope, going to keep pushing.
There was a moment when he pushed into that Dorito, and Stancil hadn't seen him yet.
That it could have been.
And he might have been able to throw a couple paintballs and pick up Stancil. But Stancil saw him out of the corner of his eye, threw one paintball, and it caught him right in the side of his face. So great shot by Stancil there.
Thank you to Paintball for Purpose. That's a foundation started by Tammy Adamson. It is not an organization trying to take your money. It's an organization trying to help you if you're in any mental health needs as an athlete or a veteran. Thank you to Paintball for Purpose. All right, Wrecking Crew, Wolfpack, knotted up 1-1. 14 minutes on the clock?
This is the opposite game.
Yeah, I don't believe my eyes.
We have had 2 very fast points.
Yeah,
everybody getting shot on the break.
Exactly, off the break shooting. All right, here we go. Let's see if that trend continues. All right, well, Wrecking Crew 5 alive.
I believe 5 for Wolfpack as well.
Well,
no,
now 4.
not 4 alive for Wolfpack. And Reyes crossing I-95 there, getting onto the other side of the field. And he is zoning out, waiting for the snake to try to fill it, but he's just going to go.
Crew kind of pinned on their back line right now.
I want to know if Wolfpack is aware that Reyes is on their side of the field. If not, Reyes is going to shoot 3 guys.
Yeah, well, look, there's gunfire coming in on the right edge. They know. He's going to choose to trade out.
So he trades with 1, which is still good.
Which is good.
Because all of that chaos has now opened up the snake for Wrecking Crew. Wolfpack in the Dorito corner is going to slow him down a little bit.
Wrecking Crew number 12 looking for that crawl. There it is, into the snake Dorito.
And
really aggressive. He's taking no fire. He recognized that he went unseen. Makes his
and
bump.
he picks up another body.
Comes
so I
over
think
the
this
top,
is
shoots the home.
Barker, maybe? 13? Yeah, it's but yeah, a couple good shots. 12.
Yeah, Barker.
Yeah, it's Barker picking up 2 good kills cross field.
He made his bump into the snake Dorito. There was no paint coming in at him. That's a signal that nobody saw him. He made his next bump very quickly, came over the top, blew up the home, and that was enough.
Well, he also shot the can cross field.
2 kills. All right.
So
good movement. All right, the opposite end of the clock extreme. 3 points scored so far. We're down to 5 minutes. Shock up by 1. I would say, TPP Crew doesn't have to worry too much about clock yet, especially because as an attacking team, it's not like they don't tend to be a sit and shoot team, so they're not going to bleed the clock.
Yeah, we're about 3 minutes and 45 seconds on average per point here.
I see number 17, Santiago, taking the field. I expect to see him in the snake.
This breakout is extremely important for TPP Crew.
Santiago staying home.
I don't see any indication that anybody's been eliminated on the break.
Carrying into the S2 for TPP Crew. He's under no fire. He's going to make his bump.
Shock losing a snake player early on the crawl.
They refill it pretty quick, though. Carrying number 5 for TPP Crew. He's up and shooting over the top of his Dorito. Looking snake side.
And I think that's all coming from that center juice box shooting over the beam. And I think that's Thomas Taylor just ripping a bounce shot now.
Really?
Up the center of the field.
No incoming fire to Carrion here at the snake Dorito. He's free to move forward. Nobody's looking.
But 5 players still for TPP. 4 for Chalk.
again, it amazes me, Carrion here for TPP Crew under absolutely no fire. They know he's there.
Yeah. Curious. I believe that's Thomas Taylor in the snake, just throwing shots through the center of the field right now.
Yeah.
Shooting his own center juice box and his own pin.
But to what effect? I mean, he must think that this tower is hot or something. I don't know what he's shooting at. I think he's getting bad information from his team.
TPP does have the center brick. And I could see if that center brick is playing that way, that pin might throw them straight up, heads up for that player.
If TPP had crossed onto the other team's brick, maybe that bounce shot can work.
And maybe that's what he's protecting against, just waiting for a body to make a mistake from TPP.
I mean, it's not a horrible bet. Teams are going to take your brick given the opportunity. Here's a move I think we're going to see.
I mean, they're up 2-1, so
yeah.
You know, anything you can do to slow down TPP right now, pick a body, even it up, because we are approaching 3 minutes now. And is this Carrion here?
This is Carrion. So look at worst case scenario here for Crew. If they lose this, down 2 points, now time is starting to become an issue. We're already at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They're in good position to win it, so I'm not throwing shade here.
So Carrion now is in a rough spot with Thomas Taylor shooting cross field at him, and now he has to play completely on the other side of the bunker. Is Thomas Taylor going to move forward and try to shoot him in the back? Looks like he's looking for the move forward into the snake 3 and just put a bunch of pressure here on Carrion.
So for Shock, you got their mini wall dropping, trying to look if you can get a cross shot into that Dorito. They've also got mini temple and Dorito corner, trying to hold the line. 2.5 minutes now. So
this interaction between Carrion and Thomas Taylor now is getting huge. Might be the linchpin of this point.
Yeah.
So we're now at approaching 2 minutes. Obviously, TPP with a body advantage and a positional advantage, but this field very, very difficult to close well on.
Again, for Crew, if they win this, the clock is kind of irrelevant. It's going to be tied up. Probably it favors Crew a little bit if it's a low clock situation. But they've passed the point of no return on the clock. They cannot lose this point, or they're in a world of
trouble. How are we looking at paint situation? So it looks like the back players for Shock in the Dorito corner and the Dorito temple each have a pod or 2.
Yeah, TPP Crew starting to run dry. 1 pod left on their snake.
Carrion with 2 pods, maybe 3.
Their middle brick looks like he's dry. 1 pod over here. I'm not sure about their Dorito 2, what he's got left, but yeah, paint becoming an issue.
We have 98 seconds left in this match.
Carrion now playing over the top, a little bit risky with Taylor still in that snake.
Well, that pin's going to block him out a little, and he has some backup. So TPP Crew is doing a very good job of just tightening the noose, just inch by inch by inch. And Shock doing a good job of resisting it. But little by little. Did Carrion just get shot? Carrion just got shot in the loader by the snake side temple, or the Dorito side temple.
Big kill.
That was an incredible decision to come over with a great shot.
However, Shock drops their Dorito corner at the same time. We're at 60 seconds.
And Thomas Taylor's still in the snake 3. We also have a Dorito side temple, and they are just going to sit. Oh, Thomas Taylor's in the snake 2. He's still in the snake 2, unless he backed out. Coming forward.
I think he took a hit.
He did.
Yeah,
okay, so we have 44 seconds.
Crew is going to close it out.
So they will get this point. We have 38 seconds left in this match. We are tied.
Well done, Crew. I mean, Crew attacked, but it really didn't take any stupid risks. They only lost, I believe, Carrion into their D2. I mean, at that point, which is even getting there alive is difficult. So really, really great controlled attack by Crew.
It took an excellent play by that Dorito Temple player just to eliminate him.
Yeah, but by then the bodies were so in favor of Crew, it almost didn't matter. All right. Thank you to Carbon once again, one of the sponsors of this program. You can get a hold of them. They have custom jerseys. They have in-house production team ready to help you design your own jersey.
Do I only see... No, there are 5 Wolfpack players. One was hiding behind a bunker. I thought...
All right, refs.
We are pausing. Technical timeout.
I think the refs might have just been letting the pod runners get off the field. Because there's no other technical reason.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, that's unusual. All right, Wolfpack on your left, down by a point. Tons and tons and tons of time on the clock.
I'm seeing 5 alive for
both teams.
Wrecking Crew, 5 alive for Wolfpack. No, losing their snake can on early And the
and
center...
Now the center's going to take a walk, too.
Yeah, so 2-body advantage now for Wrecking Crew. And Wolfpack stuck in that center. They do have an extension out on the Dorito side.
Now trying to spread it into the snake goes Wolfpack.
Makes it into the snake. What a move.
Nice. He's clean. Going to go to S2. Popping over the top. Takes one right in the
losing
eye.
a gunfight. Given the way these points have been going, I'm pretty okay blowing the horn here if I'm Wolfpack.
Yeah.
It's 2-on-5.
Although, you've got 12 minutes on the clock.
That's what I mean. So right now, Wolfpack they're not going to do any. Sorry, excuse me. Wrecking Crew isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, they're going to sit and force
They're going to sit,
Wolfpack.
and because this field can be locked up.
No,
locked
agreed.
up.
And now there's a movement up to the outside wedge by Crew. Taking out the Dorito, that leaves just the snake. I'm with you. You definitely have to towel now.
It's a 1-on-5.
Yeah,
they're in the
no good will come of this. Yeah, there it is. Ouch.
So, I think it's
a few extra welcome to Sunday balls there for the last Wolfpack player.
Hey, wait.
Oh,
he got a check.
Yeah, he got a check.
Clean.
Remember, did we talk about this yesterday?
He checked a player after the shooting stopped.
Too often refs all around the world, not just here, don't check players after the shooting stop. They just kind of stop checking players.
Yeah, he does have a lot of spray on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was an extra minute or so that Wolfpack
lost
time since after they lost that third player.
It is kind of puzzling why the coach didn't towel when they lost their last player.
And pits can be chaotic. Maybe just lose track.
Yeah. I mean, if you had infinite staff, I would put a staff member literally just watching the clock and controlling the towel button. I'd also put a staff member and simply mapping breakouts of other team. I mean, I wish I had infinite staff as a coach.
3 coaches is good. Mm-hmm. A head coach who's making finalized decision, and effectively 2 coordinators that have the same decision-making authority. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I think we should towel this, and having the authority to towel it on behalf.
Yep.
And then explaining themselves after the fact.
I mean, look at some of the major sports. They have specialists doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like we're 5 alive for Shock.
Tie game, 34 seconds. Thomas Taylor up to the center brick, matched by TPP Crew. Crossing.
No,
and they're going to trade.
Yep.
They trade.
This is
23 seconds.
Likely going to time.
I think this is...
No flags so far. Attack up the left sideline.
He makes
by
it.
Shock.
So Nest finds a way in there.
Goes the
Gets
inside.
Up.
Does he even trade? Yeah, he trades.
And does he shoot? He bounces, gets shoot, and
he's still alive.
6 seconds, 5 seconds,
crap,
4
he was
seconds.
Still alive.
They got it. That is a good point.
Wow.
If he is clean.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Stancil with a buzzer push. Uh-oh. Okay,
good point.
Okay, clean.
Stancil had a match.
What a last-second miracle for Shock with literally 1 second on the clock.
Yeah, and he had that clutch point where he picked up the last player, had a couple great shots.
Wow. Really give credit to Nest. He's the one that blew that open over there on their Dorito side.
Yeah, man, that was just a great, fast team point, which is very, very, very difficult to do on this field.
Wow, congratulations to Shock. They're going to move on. All right, Wolfpack with plenty of time, although these points have gone so slow and so long between these two teams, it may not be as much time as we think.
This has been the fast points. We're 3-1. There's still 11 minutes left. The other game's over.
Right, that's amazing. 11 minutes still on the clock for the second part of the match. Oh, ref's going to call a pause for a moment. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, we have 5 on each box.
Yeah,
so
could be the refs weren't in the positions they wanted to be. Not sure. All right, let's see if either team can come out with that amazing opening break shooting. 5 alive for Crew.
5 alive for Wolfpack.
All right. Race up the middle for Crew.
And now Snake Wedge and the Snake 2 for Wolfpack. So as far as the board is concerned, about equal, maybe a slight advantage to Wrecking Crew.
Crew's now pushed up to S2. Wolfpack counters up to their middle brick. I would expect to see number 12 Crew here for wrapping the side, looking for guns.
Yeah, and Wolfpack standing up over the top, shooting, looking for loaders, looking for edges.
Okay. Inside wedge misses a shot. Crew manages to get into this snake Dorito. Reyes under a lot of pressure in that middle brick right now.
Wolfpack is shooting a bounce shot off of that tower up into that side, trying to catch his back.
You're right. I think they're also trying to bounce shot off this mini can right next to Reyes.
Yeah, just try and airstrike him, get him both bounce shots at the same time, and give him no space to live. So Wolfpack definitely knows they're in that mini brick, or the big brick.
Yeah, bump out to the Dorito by Wolfpack, trying to stabilize that side.
Reyes is going to go get him. Is Reyes alive? No, he is not. So we are 4 on 4.
Trade.
But it opens up Barker's spot.
In the confusion, Barker slips forward. He's got an inside wedge waiting for him. He wins that snap battle. That was an amazing
good shot. You know, I question the technique from that a little bit. Well, not Barker, but the Wolfpack player was shooting right-handed with his whole left side exposed.
You're right.
And he should have seen that player close. Now,
Barker does not see the move up to the matching wedge on the other's tape line.
So they are mirrored up, but somebody's going to call it.
Barker
He's being shot at. And that Barker, I think, shot him in the back as he crossed. Doherty.
Oh, nope.
Rub.
Okay, that's Rub.
So, yeah, Wolfpack now.
Taking a walk out of that Dorito. That should be it.
And there it is.
Wolfpack going to towel out. Towel out in a tough situation now, down 4-1 with about 9 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, so with the exception of the first point where Wolfpack shot 3 of them on the break, this has been very much in favor of Wrecking Crew. Just the secondaries they're making, the shots they're making, what they're seeing out there, the snapshots we've seen.
Yep. So what's changed a little bit in this match, the first 2 points was a slaughter on the run out. Both teams took turns just absolutely nuclear striking the other team and opening shots. Coaches adjusted. That hasn't been the case lately, but we had 2 points to start this match with a minute?
Yeah,
they
both went very, very quickly.
Insanity. So things have settled down a little bit there. All right.
Yeah, with the way this field is, if Wrecking Crew finds their spot, Wolfpack is going to have a very difficult time getting 3 points, even with 9 minutes on the clock.
True. I mean, they're going
break
right
shooting.
at it.
Break shooting is the break shooting.
Yeah.
But if we look at our other set, 5 on 5, we were looking at 3.25 minutes per point, 3:25 per point. So then Wolfpack has to win all of those to tie it.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask. I talked about this, I don't know, with you or with somebody else. It's weird to me that how often then in a situation where you're essentially telegraphing to the other team's coach what you have to do. You know, the scoreboard and the clock dictate that, and it basically tells the other team you're going to have to attack in kind of a crazy manner. It shouldn't work, but it surprises me how often in paintball it does work. You've given all that information, without trying to the other coach on how to stop you, because of the clock, the score situation. But it amazes me how often it shouldn't work and it does work, that you're down points and down clock and you got to be crazy.
I mean, it works in the NFL. You got 3 seconds left on the clock. You're sitting on the 40-yard line. You need a Hail Mary. You know what's coming, and yet people execute it.
Yeah. So somebody in the comment actually is mentioning that TPP made a mistake by not letting clock run down earlier, which gave Shock that very, very last-second buzzer push. They're right. I didn't think about that. I think it was Lexus.
So Wolfpack going to the center brick on the break. Nice smooth dive in. Yeah, that field carried him a while. That was smooth.
Both teams doubled up at home. Now a crawl. Yes, I said crawl to the inside wedge by Crew. Wolfpack's going to drop their mini temple now. Drop the middle brick.
Wolfpack losing 2 players. It's 5 on 3 in favor of Wrecking Crew.
As a coach,
and 5 on 2 now. Wrecking Crew slowly pushing up the field, getting into the snake.
If you're Wolfpack coach, I don't think you can towel.
It's one of those things. Like, can you? Yes. Should you?
Ugh.
I mean, it's 2 on 5 with people in position.
It's hopeless. It's a near hopeless tactical situation. But if you towel out, it becomes a near hopeless match situation. It's real Sophie's choice out there for the Wolfpack coach. Although they're making a good push here. Oh, that wedge is going to eat them alive.
Yeah,
the Wolfpack is not aware of the wedge presence on opposite of him. This pack is probably going to pay the price here. Now he knows.
I mean, they're just going to add pressure and add pressure and add pressure. You're going to go to their corner, and I would,
go to the buzzer at this point.
There it is. I mean, Wolfpack has to towel here.
Yeah.
I don't think Wrecking Crew's going to push the buzzer.
Why would they? Absolutely not. Again,
they're going to be up 5-1 no matter what.
Yeah, there's no reason to push the buzzer, especially risking a dirty hang. Which, by the way, I mentioned I'm seeing so few dirty hangs at this level. I mean, literally, it's been a couple of years in this field since I've seen a dirty hang. That's crazy. Crazy to me.
Yeah, and well, there's almost never a reason.
I mean, teams are getting good at checking themselves. Obviously, I also think the reffing at this level means you're probably not going to get very far into a game with a hit on you. But all right, well,
And
there was a concession.
If you have a buddy to help check you out.
Yeah, but I mean, you're playing local leagues. I'm playing local leagues. Whatever. I do see dirty hangs happen from time to time. I see it zero. I mean, I literally can't remember the last time I saw a dirty hang at this level.
I mean, effectively, I think dirty hangs are a mental error, right? You didn't take your time.
Yeah.
If you're running in and you last second buzzer and you get a dirty hang, that I can see because you get shot last second, or like when your hand's right over the buzzer. Sure.
Absolutely.
And that one's rough because you're committed to pushing and you get shot with your hand like an inch and a half over the buzzer and that goes to replay.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, well, after this match, we're going to flip over to WNXL action. Femmes Fatale, winners of the first tournament of this year, taking on Suricatos. Heroines versus Dallas Vibe. Boy, those are a couple dangerous games.
Heron's Vibe should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Vibe has had a great attack, especially through Serrano and Tejada. Heroines are a really versatile team. They can kind of do whatever. They can be an attacking team. They can be a sitting team.
They have a lot of utility-type players that can play 3-4 spots each.
Yeah,
they're very difficult to scout.
They're really an amoeba team. Oh, no. I shouldn't say this on air. Although I will say it on air.
But you will.
The refs can't hear me. So in the middle, maybe we get a camera shot of this. In the middle, one of ref number 12, he's squeegeeing paint off the bunker into a pod. That will now be the third pod worth of liquid paint he has squeegeed off a bunker into a pod. Why, you may ask? Because I have been told that there is a ref here that it's his first tournament. And at the end of the tournament, he is going to get a bath. So I know.
Oh, good for him.
I think the ref stockpile.
They should just grab the chrono bucket.
Middle ref. That's what he's doing. He's squeegeeing it off, dumping it into a pod.
Yeah. Why not the chrono bucket though?
Do they even have chrono buckets here?
Yeah, underneath the chronos in the pits.
Go tell the refs
There's a big 5-gallon bucket.
Go tell the refs that.
Like, this guy's working too hard. The teams
right.
are doing the work for you.
I don't know who the new ref is, but he is going to get a free shower at the end of this tournament. Oh, that's brutal. All right. Brutal for Wrecking Crew. Well, brutal for Wolfpack. They're in a 4-point deficit, 7 minutes on the clock. Thanks again to our sponsors. I really mean it. If you're watching this at home, if you get a chance, go check out the product these sponsors have on offer. Their support of this webcast is why you're able to stay home and watch this for free. Without them, you would be locked behind a paywall, just wondering what's going on. So thank you to all these sponsors.
Yeah, so there is a lot of time on the clock here.
Yeah.
But
you're 1 point away. You have to win 4 in a row.
Yeah. Well, at least one right now. But Wrecking Crew has been so solid on their bumps, so good on their shots. With the exception of that first Wolfpack point when they shot 4 guys on the break.
Yeah.
This has been all Wrecking Crew.
Just do that again. If you're Wolfpack, just shoot 4 on the break again. You'll be fine. No big deal. All right.
Yeah, I love the play call here.
Crew cross the middle.
He crosses,
to
knowing that Wolfpack needs to come.
5 alive for Crew. Doubled up at home.
I don't see anybody walking off for Wolfpack yet. But I love this hold play where you send one guy out there to really just be a wrench. He's going to go through, get one.
Oh,
is he going to get? He does not. He only gets one.
And Wrecking Crew also lost their can during that exchange.
So it's a one-body advantage now for Wolfpack. Nope, now it's 3-on-3.
Okay.
Wolfpack losing their snake player.
We're now down to 6.5.
Looks like Chasman getting a crossfield shot on that. Oh, Chasman getting a crossfield shot. No, is the home? Did he bounce the wedge?
The wedge is getting a check.
He's getting a check.
I think he's going to be
Did he bounce him? Chasman moving in, going to put a lot of pressure there now on his back. So Chasman in an absolute dominant crossfield position. 2/3 of the field is cut off now for Wolfpack if Chasman's playing inside.
All right, for Wrecking Crew, though, this is not all wine and roses. Now the clock is down to 6 points, and they got a 4-point differential to come up with. Their players need to figure out a way to start pushing.
Wolfpack in the snake, probing, trying to find a hole. But Chasman moving forward into the snake, too. He should be able to see him pretty quickly here.
Chaseman has a shot on that snake.
He does, but that pin is blocking out his view of it. Ooh,
over
Chasman
the top.
dodging it. He sees the paint coming, getting out of the way.
Oh, wow.
What
Great
a
reflexes. Wolfpack drop
and
back
does
to the can.
Chasman misses the move from the Wolfpack
Yeah,
player
no,
into the 50 wedge.
However,
and the
we've
50
lost,
wedge getting a shot on him, but
Yeah,
he knows he's there now.
we lost another crew player. It's just the home backing up Chaseman.
If the Wolfpack player, I can't tell who that is able to get a shot on the home.
Well,
Here we
Wolfpack
go.
flying down the Dorito side.
He's
home picks up on it. He's dead.
Yeah,
that was
is.
a wasted body. When really,
I mean, I like the push there.
I don't, because Wolfpack should just be killing clock.
Wolfpack's down 4 points.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are correct. Crew, you are absolutely correct. Crew should be killing the clock.
So I don't mind that move.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But Chasman now we're playing a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And Chasman getting a shot. That the home player for Wrecking Crew hasn't said, "Hey, we've killed them."
Yeah. Chasman isn't aware of that run through that resulted in the death for the snake player over there.
But you know what? They might think there's a body out there, and for them, that's totally okay.
Yeah. Killing the clock. Well, so why is Wrecking Crew? I'm sorry. Wolfpack cannot towel out. A towel out right now would be a mercy.
This is the game.
Yeah.
The game is over. Wolfpack can't towel. Wrecking Crew doesn't need to hang.
Yeah. There's
we could just be sitting up here talking for the next 4.5 minutes.
How was your drive here, Dan?
Oh, it's nice and easy. About 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours from Detroit, yeah?
Directly between Detroit and Ann Arbor.
This is what you're getting on the webcast, because honestly, there's nothing for Wrecking Crew to bother hurrying this up, and Wolfpack can't towel out.
Yeah.
So
Chasman's got a whole pod. He's got a whole extra pod to shoot at nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that might be Jackson Rudy in the back center, just hanging out.
He's bored, man. I think he's taking up knitting. He's got nothing to do back there.
Yeah, that's Jackson Rudy.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of paint to shoot at nothing.
They're having a conversation. They're still a little wary, as they should be. This is Sunday. You don't want to make screw-ups.
Yeah, don't make mental errors here. We're making light of the situation, but they're handling this absolutely correct, because neither one of them saw that the Wolfpack player died.
I mean, maybe a crew player gets nervous, shoots a teammate, and somebody plays on. I mean, that's.
But those two guys are talking to each other.
Yeah, I know.
And they're just one at a time talking to each other. So they know now.
Yeah, they know it's it.
So now we're gonna go and
Casual.
Chasman should go look at Chad.
Yeah, he should stay.
Go look.
He shouldn't walk off.
He's saying Chasman's saying, hey, don't even touch it.
Yeah.
Well, let's double check. We'll talk, hang out, have a snack.
I mean, you're on the field. This is a chance to clean your gun. Go ahead and take your barrel, squeegee. Maybe degas, pull the bolt.
So Jackson's gonna look at Chasman. Chasman's gonna go, We're gonna go with a reload just for funsies.
By the way, again, I say this sometimes for new watchers at home that don't know paintball that well. You'll notice they are not touching each other. There's a rule in paintball where you cannot touch a teammate.
Well, here's the thing. Different leagues do that differently. You can touch a teammate in the NXL as long as it's not a wiping motion.
Okay.
So if you need to lift a jersey to check,
use your barrel. If you need to lift a jersey, I'm going to use my barrel to lift your jersey. I'm not going to touch you. It's not worth it. So
I mean, usually I would just ask a referee.
Yeah. All right, there it is. Wrecking Crew with a mercy win over Wolfpack. They're going to move on. On the other side of this match, you had Shock with a stunning last second, and I mean second push of the buzzer, sending TPP Crew home. So Shock moving on, Wrecking Crew moving on. Congratulations to both these teams. Dan, thanks for joining me once again with your samurai umbrella.
A sword umbrella.
Thanks for being here with us. We're going to head over to NXL action after this. Come back in a few. Thank you for being here.